Yo, it's Elut, and welcome back to my Forced Units Only hard mode run of Radiant Dawn. We have made it to part 4, so we're getting closer and closer to the end, little by little. So the first thing we have to do here is, 1, watch Ike get promoted, always pretty cool. That's our boy there. Roy is not our boy, Ike is our boy, if you didn't know. Skills don't matter. And we're going to have a screen here that lets us split up our army. I deliberate here for a second, just thinking of like, oh, maybe there's a skill on somebody that I didn't take off. But the forced units don't change. So we just go into it. So we're starting at part 4, Prologue, which is, wait, what is it called? Is it the Silver Army? It just said right there. I'm pretty sure it's the Silver Army, which is Micaiah's crew. So our forced units for this chapter, and then for part 4, chapter 3, will be this squad, with a slight change between those two chapters. I say slight change, but it's actually a pretty big change, unfortunately. So the units we have available for this are Micaiah, Sothe, Sanaki, Sigrun, Skrimir, and Naesala. Thank God for Naesala. I just want to throw that out there. Naesala's the GOAT in this map. Oh my god. I really miss him in the desert map because he's not forced in that one. But we are going to finally promote Sigrun to tier 3, which is kind of helpful. There's no reason not to. I forgot to 3rd tier Taronio in part 3, but I remembered for Sigrun, so that's cool, I guess. She doesn't do a whole lot in this map, but she is very, very helpful in the desert chapter. So we do appreciate her for that. I think we give Skrimir Wildheart just for the funnies. I don't really know why. Oh no, I do know why. I remember now. So we give Skrimir Wildheart because I wanted to see if I could abuse Wrath and Resolve a little bit more if his stats are worse, like getting down to those thresholds faster. It was just something I kind of wanted to try. I don't really think it's worth it in hindsight. We might not even give him Wrath here, but I know I give him Wrath in the desert map. We give Sothe Cancel and Adept, I believe. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, again, it's just something I wanted to try. I don't really recommend Wildheart on Skrimir. It's kind of stupid, to be honest, but, you know. Well, what's the point of Fire Emblem if you can't experiment a little bit? I really wish that Sothe got promoted here instead of before the next chapter, because I feel like it would be a lot more helpful here. In the desert map, he's pretty goddamn useless. He just kind of helps hold a choke in this one for a little bit, but he definitely can die if you're not careful. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. I don't know why they did Sothe dirty there. That would have been nice if he promoted the same time that Ike did. That would be pretty cool. But alas, you know, we're working with what we have. So yeah, thank God, as I said, we have Naesala, the Beast. Because he's going to put in more work than anybody else. He is a Laguz Royal, which means there is no gauge sort of issues with him ever. And he's just busted as hell. As I said in the previous video, this video will be sped up a little bit. But that's okay. So Skrimir is going to take this top side with Sothe. We're going to stagger Sothe a lot, one space behind. That way he can only potentially take one attack at a time. The only real exception to that is when the paladins show up, but I think, from what I remember, a lot of the paladins even go for Skrimir anyways, even if Sothe has a one-range weapon equipped. And I don't know if that's because I went Wildheart and his stats are worse and he's getting doubled by some things, or if it's just like, you know, Laguz racism or something. I don't really know. I couldn't tell you. But it does help, because, you know, like I said, Sothe can die if you're not careful. And then Sigrun and Sanaki are going to help chip some guys early on the right side, but eventually Naesala is just going to solo it, because he's a freak. Basically, he's a freak of nature, and we love him for it. So yeah, we're in Resolve range. Resolve is, despite what the skill description says in Radiant Dawn, is under half health. You will get bonuses to your skill and speed. The exact bonus is you take the stat and multiply it by 1.5. In FE9, that was true for skill, speed, and strength. And they nerfed it going into FE10. It no longer gives you a strength bonus, which is kind of sad, to be honest. That made Resolve really, really fun in FE9. Wrath Resolve Ike is hilarious, but we do not have that here. It's still something, though, I guess. It can have its uses. I know a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, but some people are big supporters of Resolve Micaiah, and I haven't really done that too much myself, but I do see the merit in it. I think that is pretty interesting, because her speed is usually pretty trash. So having a way to maybe fix that a little bit for some funny enemy phase stuff can be pretty cool. But for now, we're just kind of abusing stabs, and Micaiah also has Paragon, so she's getting levels and good level ups along with that. Just cuz, you know, having a souped up Micaiah is pretty fun, and I don't think most people do that a lot of the time, but I like to do it when I can. I'm a Micaiah fan. Micaiah's cool. And again, you know, watch out for bows, but at the same time, most of them won't hit Naesala anyway. He kind of doesn't care, so that's kind of funny too. It's not crossbows. Crossbows would be a lot worse. There's only one crossbow on this map, I believe, which is the guy northeast of where Sothe is right now, over the hedges there. So Naesala won't bother with that guy. He's fine against the bow paladins. It's really not a big deal. And Vantage is also a built-in skill that he has, which sometimes just makes him roll them even faster. Kind of funny. Naesala is very fun. If you don't know, all the Laguz rolls are pretty fun. But one thing I do like about Naesala is he actually has a resistance stat, which is kind of nice. I always forget how high his resistance is. Usually when I play the game, I'm like, oh jeez, like Purge Tome? Like, fuck that. Like, does nothing to this guy. Kind of cool. I don't know. I'm just talking about random stuff. You know, it's a long route map. I'm just kind of chilling. Again, Naesala doesn't care about bows. He don't care. I probably shouldn't, you know, just leave him there, but at the same time, it's a little bit funny. He don't care. And then that shove there is just to make Micaiah and Sothe be in support range, give him a little extra avoid. They do have fairly high hit rates anyways, but you know, every little bit helps. So here, like, this guy will go for Sothe, but you'll notice, like, on the next turn, when there's like 5 or 6 of them just sort of chilling there, a lot of them won't go for Sothe for some reason. They'll just go for Skrimir instead, and I don't really know why. As I said, it's kind of nice, you know, I'm not going to complain. And even there, like, that guy could have gone for Sothe, maybe tried to kill him, but they don't. So, you know, not the best tacticians over on the Benyon side for whatever reason. But it's fine with me. And then again, support range, heal him up. Paragon XP. Speed, nice. Alright, and then we didn't go too far up on the left side because I know that that guy's going to come up at some point. So it's nice that Sanaki and Sigrun can take care of him. They do have less than perfect hit rates, but it's fine. Yeah, and see, like, scenarios like that, like, I haven't looked at the exact stats, and maybe I should, but I feel like Skrimir probably wouldn't have doubled that guy if not for Resolve, so I don't know. And even then, like, the weird part about Resolve in this game that actually does bug me a lot is it doesn't show it in the combat window when you're already in Resolve range at the start. In FE9, it does show you. Like, it shows the changes in, like, your doubling and in your strength, you know, because strength applies in FE9. But right there, it showed Skrimir getting doubled, but in fact, he doubles, which is really weird. I don't know why they went back on that for Radiant Dawn. It's kind of strange. I don't know. There's a lot of weird things from FE9 to FE10 sometimes. Like, they go a step forward with some things, and then they go a step back with other things. It's kind of weird. I hope if they remake these games, those things stay consistent. That would be rather helpful, I would say. A good example of that, actually, now that I think about it, is if anybody here watches Original Raisins, he's been doing a lot of Let's Plays with Mecha. I watch his streams sometimes. And I was watching his playthrough of Radiant Dawn, and he did the Resolve Micaiah strat, and I remember he was on the desert map of Part 4. And it was really weird because on enemy phase, if I recall correctly, a guy hit Micaiah, knocked her into Resolve range, and she doubled in retaliation, which you would expect. But then there was another scenario on player phase where Micaiah attacked a dude that was doubling her. She attacked, the enemy retaliated, put her in Resolve range, but the guy still doubled her, even though stat-wise, mathematically, like, he took a look at it, that guy should have been getting doubled in retaliation. So Micaiah just died, and like, it was game over. It was really confusing. Like, I still don't know the exact reasoning for that, like, if it's just a player phase versus enemy phase bug or something, but it was really weird and kind of stupid, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. That was really strange to watch. I'd never seen that before. It never really came up before. I guess mostly because I don't normally bother to do much with Resolve in FE10, simply because you don't get the strength bonus, and any unit that isn't doubling most things most of the time is already pretty bad. You know, making use of it with a unit like Micaiah can be fun, but like any optimal good unit is not going to need Resolve to double. You know, like a good Har or a good Mia or whoever is not going to need Resolve to double, or Jill or something like that. So I don't know. That's got to be some weird thing with the programming or something. Somebody messed up. Just like how they messed up with the translation of the Resolve description, because the Resolve description in the NA version of the game says it activates under 20% health, which was a mistranslation. It's still under 50% health, which is kind of weird. I think they fixed that for the European release, and the Japanese release is obviously correct, but for some reason the North America release was written wrong for that, which is kind of weird. And I thought that was the case, you know, early on for a long time, because you look at something like Wrath, which in other Fire Emblem games, as well as in the previous Tellius game, Wrath activates under 50% health, but in this game it's under 30% health. And that is a correct translation. Like, that is true. It won't activate under 50%. So it is kind of weird if you don't actually know that. It's kind of like in FE6, where I had this problem too early on playing FE6, is when you look at like status stabs and even like physics stabs, I believe, it'll tell you in the description that the range is the magic stat. Whereas like in later games it'll say like, oh, magic stat divided by 2. But really, the range for stabs in FE6 is not your magic stat. It's your magic stat divided by 2 plus 5, which is so weird. So it's like, I feel like you should write that somewhere, you know, tell the player that in a more obvious way. It's kind of strange. Again, quick Paragon Micaiah kill, kind of nice. I do believe she caps out in this chapter, or it might be in the desert chapter. I know we get her to level 20 before she gets her 3rd tier. That's always fun. Alright, it looks like we're going to wrap this up pretty soon here. Just keep Naesala up, but there's really no big threats that can reach him right now. The Bow Knight in the bottom right actually won't move. He's not in range, so Naesala's going to kill everything that doesn't have a 2-range option right now. It'll be over pretty quick. I'm really going to miss him in the desert map. I already did miss him, and watching it back doing the commentary, I'm going to miss him again. Because holy shit is he overpowered. And being a flyer in a desert map is pretty sick. But we abuse him here as much as possible. You know, we have our fun. I'm going to miss him though. Okay, so we do cap out Micaiah next map, and the light level up she just got will allow her to use Purge, because she's had that chillin' since the Defend chapter in Part 3, but she didn't have the light rank to actually use it. And if I recall, I actually don't even get her light rank up enough to use Rexaura, so I think in Rebirth 3 we just blessed like the Thani tome. So I was like, ooh, well, that's like her best tome if she can't use Rexaura, which is kind of unfortunate, but it doesn't really change too much. And then here's our Sothe promotion. Too little, too late, to be honest. Unlucky, bro. We love you. Oh, I like that line too. I feel like I can arm wrestle Skrimir. Oh yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.